Okay, I don't know how long this one's going to be, but I think this might be the last one for this volume. Okay. It's over. It's finally over, huh? After finishing sorting out the loot, Elrond and I took a deep breath at last. I poured some black tea that I always kept ready in some mugs and handed him over to Elrond. One to Elrond. Whew, I feel like I'm coming back to life. Yeah. As for the sorting, above everything else, there were so many things to sort that it was just awful. It was probably because we went in there during the season where a lot of special individuals show up, but just counting total numbers, there were more drops than in Dolan. Oh boy. I'd already promised to go to the Adventurers Guild tomorrow, so I had to figure this all out today, and I didn't even have time to make lunch. That's why today's lunch was just snack buns. Fel and Dora-chan seemed a little unhappy that it wasn't meat, but Sui was happy since it liked sweet things. Elrond was too. To think that bread could be eaten like this. Sweetening the bread makes it really delicious, didn't it? He said, sounding really moved. Excuse me. Just like that, we managed to get through lunch and went back to sorting out the loot. We had finally finished just moments ago. We've done a decent amount of sorting, so all that's left are the drops from special individuals. I'll ask Val to take care of those tonight. The guild here has a simple appraisal magic item, so you could just ask them, but it'll probably take quite a while if you do. Since that's the case, you should probably divide things into certain categories to make things faster. So he said, but I'd already sorted them that way. I had appraisal after all. While making sure that Elrond wouldn't notice, I had already figured out what drops were from special individuals and knew how many I had, so everything was fine. That's why the sorting was actually already finished. Truly, there was a lot of stuff. There was an especially great number from the insect zone. I mean, duh. Like from those things that shine with a black luster. Of course, I made sure to use gloves when handling them. Yeah, the cockroaches. Oh god, I still can't believe. Well, it makes sense considering Japanese people are usually more dang it, what's the word? Sorry, I got a stupid hang now, hang on. Anyway, invested in cleanliness. So, cockroaches being around is a sign of no cleanliness. Or not astute cleanliness. Hang on, I got a freaking smudge on my glasses. What the heck? But yeah, of course he would be freaking out over the cockroaches. After talking it over with Elrond, he agreed that I should take all the meat. Then when I was about to try and convince him somehow to let me have the vampire knife and the magic bag extra large, he agreed in a heartbeat. I basically did nothing, you know. Actually, even if I wasn't around, you probably would have made it through the dungeon just as easily. It's too much for me to say anything about what you want to do with this, he said. Personally, I was thinking that as long as I could keep the vampire knife and the extra bag, the magic bag extra large, I could let go of the magic bag medium, and then I'd be fine with splitting the rest of the sale with Elrond, where he'd get 2/3 of it, and I'd get the rest. Magic bags were expensive, so just the vampire knife and the magic bag extra large had a lot of value. Of course, anything that wasn't sold, we'd split 50-50. I told him that, and Elrond strongly refused, saying, I can't do that, that's just robbery. According to Elrond, he'd be plenty happy as long as I sold some drops to Dolan after Aveling, split some of the dark balls with him, and also gave him about 1/3 of the treasure from the Hydra's treasure chest. It's fair. For when he got old. What? About 1/3 of the treasure from the Hydra's treasure chest for when he got old. Old, dude! How old are you? How old constitutes old for you in your elven race? That's what I want to know. But if that was the case, Elrond would get too little, and that wouldn't sit well with me. It was true that my 3 familiars were the main stars in fights, but I had been taught a lot of things by Elrond, who was a former adventurer. That helped me a lot, too. So although he'd probably refuse if I tried to give him half of what I earned from selling drops here, I was still thinking I'd give him 1/3 of it. I wanted to do that much at least, as both a gesture of thanks and as comrades for who went through the dungeon together. What's for dinner tonight, Makoto? I'm hungry. Or I'm so hungry. I was just thinking nice things about you and you ruined it. Oh boy. What are the liquor lovers doing now? Chapter 7. Booze, booze, booze. Oh no. Okay then, sorry about this, but see you in 3 days. Yes, I understand. After finishing my conversation with Nadia in the guildmaster's room upstairs, I'd returned to the receptionist desk on the guild's first floor. I just came to report my loot from the dungeon, so my familiars were holding the fort back at the inn. But wow, I totally understand what Elrond was talking about. That amount is no joke, Nadia said, sounding really sincere. When I showed her the list of drops, Nadia's eyes probably nearly popped right out of her head after all. Right? It was like that in Dolan too. Actually, like I said, since there was a lot of special individuals around right now, there's just way more in total this time, Elrond said. Nadia brought her hand to her forehead and whispered, Really? In a troubled voice. Yeah, sorry, I didn't think there'd be this much either. There's a limit to my budget, so I'll have to talk this over carefully with my sub-guildmaster. Just like I'd said before, Nadia, please leave some dark balls and some materials that I'll make for weapons and armor for us. I know, Elrond, you already know we can't buy nearly all of that. There'll be some left for Dolan no matter what. I'm grateful to hear you say that. I was glad it all worked out between Nadia and Elrond. I'll come back in 3 days then, I told Nadia before leaving. Okay, I've done all I need, so let's go back to the inn. Yeah. As Elrond and I were about to go back, I heard a voice from behind me. Oh, it's Makoda! I turned back around and found some familiar, scary faces and the stench of dudes. Oh no. Who's this again? Alonzo, Clement, Matthias. Ernest, so you were here? I called to the party Shadow Warrior. Oh yeah, those guys. Oh yeah, they said they were going to Aveling. I was wondering if he was going to run into them or not. I just couldn't remember their names. Who exterminated an orc settlement with me while I was in Neoth, whatever. Oh man, to think you go through Aveling's dungeon too, and at some point you became S-ranked on top of that. So we actually got to know someone amazing, didn't we? We did good taking that request. Yeah, we got a lot of money thanks to Makoda too. Having reunited with the members of Shadow Warrior, I was currently talking with them in the pub that was in the Adventurers Guild. According to them, after we said our goodbyes, they took a little break since they were pretty well off financially thanks to me. Then they came here just like they planned. They got here 10 days ago, and apparently they'd recently started going into the dungeon after gathering some info. But you know, around 3 days into exploring the dungeon, we felt something was wrong, Matthias said. Apparently in the previous party, Alonzo and Matthias went into a dungeon as well, and they were worried about the high number of monsters back then also. Matthias has got great intuition, you know. It saved us more than once, said Clement, with both Alonzo and Ernest nodding in agreement. Thanks to you, Makoda, we're doing pretty well monetarily, so we went with Matthias' gut and left, said the leader, Alonzo. And he was right, because right after that, the guild made an announcement that the dungeons entered a season where a lot of special individuals pop out. From what I heard out of Nadia after the fact, with several reports from other adventurers out of the dungeon, she officially made the decision to announce the arrival of the season in the dungeon. All the guys in Shadow Warrior were showing up in the guild every day to gather information since they planned to go right back to the dungeon after the unusual conditions lifted. Looks like we basically tagged out of the dungeon, didn't we, Makoda? Ernest said, and I nodded. Given what they said, that's exactly what it felt like. So how was it actually? There were a lot of monsters even when we went in. Alonzo asked with a serious expression. Oh man, it was surprising how many there were. There were a lot of special individuals too, Elrond answered. I'd already introduced Elrond to them. They were surprised to hear he was Dolan's guildmaster, though. So when I said that I'd conquered Aveling's dungeon along with him, they all asked, why were you with Dolan's guildmaster? To be honest, it just kind of happened that way, was my only answer. I mean, to be fair. I mean, there's no way I could say that he was after Dorichan, right? That he barged in here, even though he was supposed to be in the capital because he wanted to see a small dragon. I mean, dude, if they knew anything about Dolan's guildmaster, they would understand completely. But Dorichan and Sui are also strong, so it wasn't a problem, Elrond said, and they all nodded, going, yeah. Well, of course, with the Fenrir there's basically no way anything happened to you guys. It's not just the Fenrir, you know, that small dragon and the slime were also ridiculously strong. Back when we went to exterminate the orc settlement, too, they basically did everything. Yeah, Makoda's familiars are all way too strong, said the members of Shadow Warrior. I almost didn't have to fight at all. Going into a dungeon with Makoda is basically like a vacation. Most of all with how good his cooking is. Elrond said while closing his eyes as if he was remembering the food he ate. Makoda's cooking, it really was good, Alonzo muttered, and all of them nodded furiously. So you've tasted his cooking too? It's wonderful, isn't it? Oh, and they're gonna bond about it. After that, for some reason they left me out and just talked about my food by themselves. While I was sitting there watching them and feeling kind of exasperated, someone tapped me on the shoulder. Yo, Makoto! I turned around and saw another familiar face. I heard you came back from the dungeon. I was gonna wait until things calmed down, but I heard you were in the guild right now, so I decided to stop by. It was all the members of ARC who I'd met in the dungeon. Oh, Feodora. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. She's gonna watch her good food. Well, then I'll be looking forward to tomorrow. I'll bring my special liquor with me. Uh-oh, this is where the booze comes in. The title's called Booze, Booze, Booze for a reason. Oh no. Are the liquor-loving gods gonna show up? Oh no. This is really gonna be chaos if they do. And they're gonna have to show up in like a human form. So this could be interesting. I'll be looking forward to your cooking. It's been a while. Yeah. The members of both Ark and Shadow Warrior left with a smile. At some point it was decided they'd be holding a celebration for conquering the dungeon. Why? Without my input at all, Elrond and the two parties started getting excited about the food I made, as well as a lecture about dungeons, and while I was leaving them alone, before I knew it, I ended up having to throw a celebration for my success in the dungeon for some reason. But I'm the one who should be celebrating. Why is this? Wouldn't I usually not have to do anything as the guest of honor or something? That's what I thought. But I got all twisted around by some nonsense logic they were spouting. What the hell does that even mean? And Feodora piled on top of that when she said, you promised to treat me again on the surface. Dang, that's a lie. That's probably the most she's probably ever talked. Maybe to her party anyway. Like, it's true I did say that to Feodora. I mean, you had to say that to get her to go. In the end, I couldn't say anything back, and it was decided that I'd do it. They say it's a celebration, but basically they'll all just be eating and drinking as much as they like. And since I'm hosting it, that means I have to cook. That's exactly what they're after too. Huh, I guess I have to prepare once I get back. Since Alonzo's not good with seafood, it's gonna have to be mainly meat, won't it? Still, I don't have a lot on me. Oh, but I have that! I got bunches of it in the dungeon. Alright, I'll use snake meat. A snake meat party with all the snake meat I have. When I got back, all three of my familiars were waiting for me. They all complained about their hunger, and of course, Elrond was gonna join in since he came back with me. I'd made a lot of rice in the morning, so I just quickly whipped up some sweet and spicy Chinese miso stir-fry rice bowls with orc meat and lots of vegetables. Thank goodness I decided to make that rice in the morning. While they were eating, I told Phil and the others about tomorrow's celebration, and apparently they had no problem with it, as long as they could eat too. Actually, they were happy since they get to eat a lot of different foods. With all the people in Ark, Shadow Warrior, and now Phil and the others, I'm going to have to cook a lot. Once dinner was over, I immediately started preparing for the next day. First, how do I cook this snake meat? Well, given the amount of people I have to cook for, it's going to have to be barbecue, right? With barbecue, everyone can just cook it how they like it. You like to eat it, it's much easier to prepare. How many types of sausage should I marinate the snake meat in? Also, let's make some skewers with vegetables. The raw sausage I made before should be perfect for a barbecue, too. Let's make that. Also, I have both black and red serpent, so let's make some karage. It'll definitely be popular. I decided to start with the karage. I started cooking after taking the black and red serpent meat from my item box. Woo! This should be about it. I fried the karage twice, so I let them rest for a while. I used both a soy sauce base and a salt base and made a huge amount. Huge in terms of your familiars huge? Or huge in terms of normal consumption huge? I'm assuming it's the former. Because, that would not be near... That would probably be enough to satisfy the others. Maybe? Actually, they probably still eat a lot, but yeah. But your familiars, definitely not. While I was cooking the karage, Fel and the others came to watch, lured by the smell. They were drooling and I eventually had to give in. You just ate, didn't you? Eat this, I said, and tossed some snack buns at my familiars. Seeing that, Elrond started to look jealous too, so I ended up handing him some as well. Since everyone was now looking forward to karage for dinner, I ended up having to give them some then as well. Dang it, there's still a hang now. I thought I had gotten rid of it. It's like I don't want a cuticle. In the end, the amount I had to make was no joke. For now, this should be good for karage. Next is the raw sausage. I made some mixed minced meat using orc and goldenback bull, along with Sui's special mithro mincer, and used them to make the same coarsely ground black pepper and soy sauce flavored and lemon herb flavored sausages. The karage and sausages are done, so all I need to do is marinate some snake meat in different sauces and prepare the skewers right. Using black anaconda, black and red serpent, and crimson asp meat, I cut each of them into proportionate looking sizes. Then I marinated them in a sauce I made by mixing together soy sauce, slices of garlic, and apple juice. It was just a simple garlic soy sauce, but the apple juice enhanced the flavor with a refreshingly sweet component. I also used a cleansing salted koji and lemon sauce. This one was a simple sauce made by mixing together salted koji, black pepper, and lemon juice. It was delicious and stimulated the palate. Lastly, I made tandoori chicken. No, maybe it should be tandoori snake, because everyone loved the curry I'd made. I pickled the meat in a sauce which was a mixture of plain yogurt, grated garlic, grated ginger, salt and pepper, and curry powder. I sealed them all up in vinyl bags and finished up what I had to do for the marination for now. Now they should be ready by tomorrow, so all I have to do is take them out and cook them. I bought log skewers using my skill and made skewers by alternating random vegetables and snake meat. I used peppers, onions, garlic, and asparagus among other vegetables. I made a large number of those as well, so all I had to do was cook them. Simplicity is best for skewers, so I only seasoned the skewers with salt and pepper. I did prepare some vegetables just in case, but when I think of the people in Ark and Shadow Warrior, they're total carnivores, aren't they? For now, I just used all the time I could before the afternoon and finally finished my preparations for tomorrow. I fed my 3 familiars who were all waiting for dinner a mountain of karage. Of course, Aaron was there too. Oh man, this is crazy good. Yeah, it's crispy and juicy at the same time. This cold ale is great, and it's perfect with the meat. You're right, this ale and meat's just the best. Excuse me. It was past noon, and the gathered members of Ark and Shadow Warrior were in the middle of praising the food I made for the dungeon conquering party. Snake Meat Festival. The number of people being what it was, I had to borrow the table that was in the room and hold the party out in the exclusive backyard. While I was grilling the meat using the special barbecue grill I ordered in Dolan, I first served out the mountain of karage I'd made. Both the people of Ark and Shadow Warrior liked alcohol, so I figured it had to be beer for a barbecue, and ready bottled beer by the boatload. Given that the dwarf Sigurd was around, it was basically already decided there'd be a lot of drinking going on anyway after all. I mean, you'd probably be hard-pressed to find a dwarf that doesn't like to drink. I mean, I know it's a stereotype for a fantasy character, but still. Both of the party's members had beer in one hand while crowding around the mountain of karage. Both Elrond and Feodora were ignoring the beer in favor of karage, though. My 3 familiars had their own reserved plates of karage and they were chowing down. You know this is called karage. It's black and red serpent we got from the dungeon that's been cooked in oil. Elrond explained smugly. I'm the one that made it, though. Black and red serpent? Aren't those super high-class ingredients? We've been eating it like it's normal food. I'm sorry, I know you guys are probably still hearing me turn the heater on and off when I'm getting cold, but I thought the sound was a little too annoying. But I'm cold. Is it really alright to let us eat this, Makoto? Both of the parties collectively looked at me worried. It's fine, I was going to keep the meat for myself anyway. See, look how much they eat. I said, glancing at my familiars who were gorging themselves behind me. This is how it is, so don't worry and just eat. I see, if that's the case, then I'll just be thankful and eat it. Yeah. Both parties were convinced and returned to their food, smiling. The 2 parties seemed to be concerned about me, and I got a lot of gifts, too. The members of Ark got me some orange blossom honey, which could only be harvested from the Apatri region to the south of this country. The members of Shadow Warrior got me natural pink rock salt harvested from the Yerbole Mountains in the east. I'd seen them in stores in other towns, and I remember that both of them were pretty expensive. Both of them are high-class ingredients meant for nobles, aren't they? It seemed the association between me and food was strong, and that led them to this choice. I'll go ahead and use them gratefully later. However, even as that was going on, both of the elves, Elrond and Feodora, acted as usual. I looked over at them, and they were just completely occupied by the karage. Well, I guess it's like them. Setting the matter of the red dragon aside, while Elrond's here, I do want to learn some things from him. So I'll consider us even. Oh, the barbecue is just about done. This meat's done too, everyone. Here you go, I said, and everyone crowded around the grill. Hey, give it to me, too. Give it to me. Me too. Suey too. The quickest ones to speak up were fell on the others, but right now, our guests come first. You all just wait, I said. So they waited behind me, seeming dissatisfied but understanding. This is Black Anaconda, and this is Crimson Asp, and this... I started explaining the meat, and everyone was surprised. It seemed that all of it was expensive, just like the black and red serpents. Among them, Crimson Asps were both high-ranking monsters and hard to find, so it was said that even nobles would be lucky to be able to eat it once in their life. That's the kind of ingredient it was, and there was a story from 5 years ago where some country's palace had it served at a banquet, and it became the talk of the town. You really can't count out snake meat, I guess. Black anaconda, crimson asp. To think we'd get to eat this. This is something we'd never have in our entire lives if it wasn't for you, wasn't for Makoto, huh? The members of both Arc and Shadow Warrior both muttered to themselves and wouldn't reach for the food. There was nothing else to be done, so I just took plates and started serving it out at random. The elves with sharp eyes full of greed were last. Damn it. Okay, just eat up. I made this for all of you, I said, before handing the food to them with the elves after everybody else. As soon as the plates were in their hands, the two gourmand elves stuffed their mouths. Seeing that, the others also started eating. So good! I'll never get tired of this. It's so light, but every time I chew it bursts with flavor. This flavoring is good too. Yeah, that's right, just keep eating. I made this much for everyone after all. Oh, there's meat here too, so you all can just grill it and eat it as you like later. I had marinated meat and skewers ready on a plate. Also readied several tongues that it was up to them to cook for themselves. Oh, I need to get Fel on the other's portion too. I served each of them their own individual mountains of food split onto 2 plates, each with an extra large portion on them. I also refilled the karage dishes since they were empty. For now, just eat up. If you want more, just say so, I told them before returning to the ring of people. Still, this stuff is really good. Yeah, I didn't know cold ale could be this good. Not only that, but it's perfect with Makoto's meat dishes. Yeah, no joke, I can't stop eating. That's not ale, though. I decided on S Company's Black Label beer since I figured that was the best bottled beer, and it seemed like everyone else agreed since they were drinking like it was water. Now that they'd gotten some booze in them, it looked like everyone had loosened up and they were having great fun eating or drinking whatever they pleased. There's no more booze, said the dwarf Sigurd while turning his bottle upside down. Whoa, already? I thought he prepared quite a lot, though. If they've been drinking it like it's water, dude, I mean, you're gonna lose a lot of beer that way. They drank far more than I expected. They're like fish. I was right to keep some beer in my item box just in case. I'll go break out some more, just wait a second. I put more beer from my item box out onto the table. Oh, nice. Sorry about that, Sigmar said as he tried to pour some more beer into his cup from a new bottle. I'll pour it for you. Here you go. I smoothly stole away from the bottle of beer and poured it into Sigmar's cup. Yeah, you don't want him sloshing it all over the ground and wasting beer. Sigurd apologized quickly before starting to chug his beer. So good. Yep, he's a dwarf. Nice drinking. This is the first time I've ever had such good ale. It's cold and goes down great. I don't want to stop. This is called lager beer. Technically, it's different from ale. It's different. Well, it's good stuff, so whatever. Sigmund said, laughing as he downed the rest of his cup. Whoops, almost forgot. This is my special booze that I talked about yesterday. Sigmund took a bottle out of an inside pocket and handed it to me. It was a golden alcohol instead of a clear bottle that seemed handmade. Sigmund himself, who was a dwarf, said that this was his special booze, so no matter how I look at it, it's gotta be strong. Go on, try giving it a quick chug. I couldn't just say no after that, so I uncorked the bottle and tried just a little bit. My throat flared up all at once with a burning sensation. What the hell is that? I only drank a little, but my throat felt like it was burning. Since I normally only drank beer, this was nothing but harsh. I immediately tried to soothe my throat with the orange juice I prepared along with the beer. This is dwarf-made liquor. Yeah, that's gonna be strong, dude. Dwarf made my ass. It's so strong I couldn't even taste anything. It's not funny. What the hell is this? I thought my throat was on fire. I complained as both Gaudino and Gideon came over. Lured by that, the members of Shadow Warrior were along for the ride. You made Makoto drink that, Sigurd? Gaudino said, exasperated. I said I'd bring my special booze, so it's gotta be this, right? You can't go around drinking stuff special to dwarves, Makoto. Gideon was laughing. Oh yeah, didn't you also collapse a long time ago after drinking some of Sigurd's booze, Gideon? Like, come on, don't do that, leader! Hearing that exchange, the members of Shadow Warrior all started laughing. I do hear that dwarf booze is real strong. Jeez, it's not just how strong an alcohol is that makes it good. Now, wait a second, don't I have some really strong stuff too? Truthfully, I had actually bought a lot of different liquors last night in preparation for today. Since I managed to get a liquor store as a tenant, I decided to look through the menu and ended up with a lot of different stuff after picking up what looked good. However, I was thinking more clearly in the morning, so I ended up only serving the beer after thinking to myself, wouldn't beer be best for a barbecue though? So there was one bottle that I bought due to things I'd heard online. This won't lose to that dwarven stuff. To tell you the truth, Sigrid, I do have something I want you to try. I took it out of my item box. It was a vodka from Poland, and it's ABV. It's alcohol blood I'm assuming alcohol blood volume? Or something. Alcohol something. It's amount of alcohol, and it's in the bottle. It was 96%. It was hailed as the world's strongest vodka. With an ABV this high, it would get set on fire easily, so it's really earned its flammability warning. I've been told by my acquaintance who loved alcohol that vodka needs to be cold if it's going to be drunk straight. So I did just that, storing it in my item box with ice. I also bought several glasses with my skill last night as well, so of course I also had shot glasses. I poured the extremely chilled, world's strongest vodka into a shot glass. He's been drinking that dwarven stuff on a regular basis, so he should be fine with at least 1 cup of this straight. It should be quite equal to your pride in dwarven brew. What? Let's see. Sigrid took the shot glass and downed the world's strongest vodka in a single swig. Oh, whoa! What the? Was the alcohol level really too much for dwarves? I wonder what the alcohol level content for Sigurd's drink was in comparison to this. I'd love to know that. I wonder if Fel could appraise it and find out. His appraisal level is a lot better than Makota's, so he could probably get more details on it. I would ask him. What the hell is this? It's thick and there's sweetness to it that's wonderful. Even though it's so delicious, its strength is still scarily high. No, wait a second, Sigrid. Your face is way too close. More. Give me more. Sigrid was pressing me for more between heavy breaths. No, just like you tasted, this stuff is really, really strong. So, to drink so much at once is... Even though my acquaintance had said all that stuff about drinking straight vodka cold, in truth he also said that you shouldn't drink this specific vodka straight at all. I only bought this thing as a joke because of what I'd heard. Even dwarves shouldn't be drinking this willy-nilly, right? I'm a dwarf. I can handle something like this. More importantly, hurry up and give me the good stuff. No, listen, I'm telling you not to drink so much of this stuff. It was supposed to be a joke. But Sigrid was demanding more. You shouldn't have joked when it comes to alcohol, dude. Ah, fine. I'm really, really serious. This is strong. You normally should be diluting this with something, got it? This is the last time I'm letting you drink it straight. Got it? I said before pouring a second round of the world's strongest vodka into Sigrid's shot glass, and Sigrid once again downed it in a single gulp. Woo! This really works on your system. It's good. So good. Seeing the exchange between Sigrid and I, Galdino, Gideon, and the members of Shadow Warrior looked stunned. A liquor that surprises Sigrid. Hey, no way he's talking some shit about how that stuff would even work on Sigrid. I can't believe there's actually something that'll surprise a dwarf that just downs strong stuff like it's water. If any of you drink it, you'll most likely fall over. No! One more! Give me one more! No, I'm telling you no, Sigrid. I already said that was the last one. Don't be so stingy. Come on, for me? Don't you for me? Ah, jeez, I have other stuff too, so just drink that. If he kept drinking this 96% ABV vodka, I have no idea what happened to him, even if he was a dwarf. What? Other stuff? Say that sooner! Just calm down, man. Dwarves really do change when it comes to liquor, don't they? Yes, they do. And people change when they get drunk. So, be careful with that. Especially around Feodora. I don't know if she would drink. Does she drink? Because we know that she didn't go out for the beer, so I don't know if she drinks at all. If she doesn't, you and her might be the sober ones after this. You all feel free to try some too. I called out to Galdino, Gideon, and the members of Shadow Warrior as well. Then I started lining up the different bottles I'd bought the night before on the table. It was all safe stuff that I picked off the ranking list that was both affordable and seemed easy to drink. First was whiskey. Since I started to recognize some stuff after having to start that liquor-loving combo, I ended up getting a lot of whiskey. I got a clear-tasting whiskey from a Japanese distillery that was easy to drink and hard to get tired of. It was famous for the bearded man on the label. After that, I also got something that was loved all over the world, blended Scotch whiskey. The one I got mixed over 40 different bases together to make a rich and smooth taste. Lastly, I got a bourbon whiskey that seemed to be the representative of its category. It was made with the concept of, the real thing doesn't compromise. It was really strong, but there were comments saying that this was the one to get if you wanted to try bourbon, so I bought it. Next, I went for brandy. It was from France, and apparently from a maker that presented cognac to Emperor Napoleon, and even climbed up far enough to be the Emperor's purveyor in the time of Napoleon III. It was in the rankings due to it being more reasonably priced than in an always expensive category. It was fruity and it seemed like it could be really easily enjoyed as it had a nice, mature, mellow mouthfeel. Like I said, I wonder if they'll end up adding cocktails to that. Because like I said, pina coladas, daiquiris, I don't know if it's a cocktail, but I don't even think daiquiris have a lot of alcohol in it. Because my mom drinks those, so I don't think they have a lot of alcohol content to them. But anyway, then I got gin. This gin was popular even with women due to its beautiful blue bottle. Even I tried this one on the rocks, and it smelled like herbs and citrus. It had a refreshing, cool taste, and it was easy to drink. Even though it was gin and it was appropriately strong, it was so easy to drink that its downside was that it was easy to drink too much. I had a hard time of it the next day too. After that, I also bought some rum since recently Japanese fans of it had been growing. The rum I got was from Guatemala, and it was a dark rum suited for drinking straight or on the rocks. I also got a premium blended rum that was made from over 20 different bases before being aged for 4 years in a white French oak cask. I bought it even though it was pretty expensive due to the store owner's comment, which said it has a mellow fragrance. Damn it, where'd it go? Fragrance coupled with a sweet and rounded taste. First timers to rum, please try this. And lastly, I got Japanese sake. The one I got was made in Nagata Prefecture, and even I knew of it due to its good reputation. It had a clear and refreshing taste that still had umami to it, as well as its own sharp aftertaste. It seemed to be a spicier sake that nevertheless went down well, so it was always shining in first place in the monthly rankings. Those were all the different liquors I'd lined up on the table. Oh, I hear the freaking garbage truck, never mind. They were all spirits that went well straight or on the rocks, so I readied both empty glasses and glasses with ice. Here you go, I said, and I got quickly mobbed by an excited crowd of smelly men. Alright, it's booze! Siegfried, the liquor-loving dwarf, exclaimed excitedly upon seeing all the bottles lined up. Still, I guess I should be expecting this out of you by now, Makoto, to be able to ready this many types of liquor for us. Gaudino praised and everyone agreed. I do have some connections in the field. I didn't lie, not technically. Tenants are a sort of connection. There are a lot of relatively strong ones, so please drink slowly. Everyone put their hands on the bottles one after the other. This one smells great. Oh, this one's good too. This one looks nice. I'm going to try this one in the blue bottle. Clement poured out the gin in the blue bottle into his glass as is. Ah, you should be drinking that one on the rocks. Really? Beside him, Gaudino was about to pour brandy into a glass with ice in it. Ah, no, drink that one with this glass without ice in it. Oh. While I was taking care of all that, Siegfried pulled something. He filled up a glass full of bourbon whiskey and drained it in a single mighty swig. Ah, good. Wait a second, that one's strong. I told you to drink it slowly. There's a lot of good booze here. We're gonna drink till dawn. Yeah! After that, it was chaos. Of course. It was my mistake for bringing in all that liquor. It was the worst way to wake up. As soon as I slowly started to get up, my head was rocked with aches. My head was ringing and bursting at the same time, and since I slept on the floor, I was sore all over. While holding my head trying to ward off the pain, I looked around. There were bottles of liquor laying all over the place, and the members of both Ark and Shadow Warrior were squeezed together tight, snoring. For some reason, Gaudino was occupying the bed by himself. My 3 familiars were sleeping together on Fell's futons. Who's got a hold of your head, dude? Okay, someone got a hold of your... What the fuck? Ah, y'all passed out. Elwyn and Theodora were nowhere to be found. Those two concentrated on eating and didn't drink at all, so they probably just went back at some point. I do remember the two of them using the grill to cook the meat as they liked, but Theodora had been feasting with a skewer in each hand. It looked like Fell and the others had made Elwyn cook meat for them as well. On the other hand, we were busy boozing ourselves up. Siegfried said, we got more than enough good booze. We're gonna drink till the sun sets and rises again. So the mood just kept getting more and more excited. They weren't satisfied with the stuff I'd already brought out, so I had to get more several times during the party. Thankfully, everyone was drunk off their rockers, so no one really even noticed I was using my skill. Not only did my head hurt because I drank too much, my gut was mad at me too. This hangover is just awful. Was I supposed to be invulnerable to status conditions because of the gods' blessings? I muttered my complaints to myself, but I heard a low, unhappy voice pop up. Of course. He's right. Not even our blessings cover stuff from another world. Those voices. Hephaestus, Vahan. That's right, it's us. We watched you all night. Right, War God? Yeah, we were watching all that time, Blacksmithing God. Oh, great! Of course they were watching, because they wanted all the alcohol. We watched you treat all your adventurer friends to so much liquor. Yeah, you left us gods out of it and just drowned yourselves in so many different types of alcohol. Dude! You guys can't come down here! Not that I know of. And if you did, I think your boss, the creator god, would notice. So yeah, you guys get your offering, so shut up. Said Hephaestus and Vahan in truly jealous voices. No, you see, I was the host of the party, so I needed to provide some drinks at least. Why do I have to make excuses for this? Wait, no, they were watching this whole time? You bored-ass people, stop that! Oh god! What if things had gotten spicy during the party? What if Elrond and Feodora had been drinking, which thankfully they did not. They were the only sober ones. And things had gotten interesting, because I don't know how Feodora would react to being intoxicated. We don't know. And I'm assuming that she doesn't have anybody. So things get interesting with that. But enough of that. You even wasted so much booze in the dungeon throwing it at monsters. I thought I might explode with rage back then. Wait, when? When did they do that? Oh, never mind. I was trying to remember back when they were fighting the, shit. I don't even remember. Which monsters were they fighting that they had to throw booze at them? Well, we didn't say anything since it was to defeat monsters, and it worked, but yesterday, they were watching that too? Even though we're gods. Even though we're gods, you know. How nice to be able to drink as much as you like. No? Even though I'm suffering from a hangover, they're nitpicking right from the start of the day. Those damn alcoholics. Jeez, I get it alright. You just want booze, right? I don't mind giving you some, but don't get found out by Ninmir and the others, got it? I didn't really mind giving them alcohol, but I was just worried that they'd get found out. If they did, then there'd be a huge fuss over it. There definitely would. Even if you tell us that. They all have such good intuition, yep. Yeah, also as fellow gods, we can't completely hide our interactions with you. From what they were saying, it seemed that since they were of the same divine rank, they couldn't hide anything completely. I'm not sure what that means, but I guess their powers cancel each other out? Well, anyway. If there's a chance of getting found out, I think you should stop. I have no idea what they'll do, and I bet there'll be a huge argument, so how about this? I told them my idea. I was thinking of allowing everyone a free choice of one thing they wanted during the next offering. I'm going to reject anything too expensive, but what about anything up to 1 gold? 1 gold? Why not just a little more? Yeah, there's a whiskey that was just a little more expensive than that we wanted last time. Yeah, we know. Yeah, y'all wanted the ones that were aged a lot more. What? They already had their eye on something like that. Then I don't mind if it's a little more than 1 gold. That's a little more. You have to put a limit on this, dude, or else they're gonna go exploit it. Oh, that's great to hear. Then we're fine with it, right, War God? Yeah, it's perfect, isn't it, Blacksmithing God? The two of them were suddenly sounding much happier. Those damn greedy gods. Alright then, bye. Please just leave. I'm nursing a hangover here. I want to go back to sleep. Then we'll see you next time. I'm looking forward to it. With those words, the connection cut with the sound of a TV turning off. And then let's go back to sleep. Just as I thought I was free now that those annoying gods were gone, I felt something behind me. Hey, I am hungry. Me too. You just wouldn't wake up. Stewie is hungry too. You guys wake up so early. Oh, just about to go back to sleep. I'm not feeling well, so I'm just going to buy you something. Huh, you just drank too much. I have no idea why anyone would want to drink something like that. Val seemed unhappy since we were making a racket late into the night. Now, don't be like that. It's irresistible to the people that like it, just like meat is for you, I said, dodging the irate Val's words as I opened up my online supermarket to buy some breads meant to be eaten as side dishes. I got bunches of croquette buns, yakisoba buns, curry buns, wiener rolls, and corn mayo buns. That doesn't sound too good. Since I was buying bread for breakfast, Val and the others requested sweet ones too, so I got the usual red bean buns, cream buns, and other stuff as well. While I was at it, I got a nutrient drink to help with my hangover. I unwrapped the buns and piled them up on a plate. Okay then, have fun, I'm going back to sleep, I said, bringing out my food time from my item box. Then I downed the drink I bought for my hangover real quick before getting in. After waking up from my nap, I felt a lot better thanks to that drink. I looked around, and both the members of Ark and Shadow Warrior were still dead asleep. While making sure not to wake them, I put away my futon. First off, I'm gonna have to do something about this. I threw away all the empty bottles that were scattered around the room into my item box. There were a lot of them. Let's feed this all to Stewie later. If all trash like this gets cleaned up by Stewie and its clones, so it's a huge help. Now that the matter of the bottles is settled... Right, I left the grill out in the yard, didn't I? I went outside and saw my familiars dozing off in the sun. Peace is nice, isn't it? Right after that heartfelt thought, I started cleaning up the grill. Whew, that does it. After taking a breath in relief, Fel spoke up. Are you done? I am hungry. Dora-chan and Sui were lined up right next to Fel. It's going to be meat, got it? You're not getting off with doing the same thing as this morning. As soon as I started to think of that, repeating what I did this morning would be fine, Dora-chan cut me off. Sui wants meat too. You too, Sui? Thinking back to what I have left, it's going to be snake meat again, isn't it? It tastes a lot like chicken, so I can just make grilled chicken. No, snake meat with tomato and cheese that'll go well with bread. After ordering all the stuff I'd need through my skill, like tomatoes and melty cheese, I started cooking. Cut the snake meat, I'm using black anaconda this time, into proportionate chunks, season both sides equally with garlic salt, then cook in a frying pan as if you're sauteing chicken. By the way, the garlic salt I used is garlic powder, salt, and coarsely ground pepper all mixed together so the single serving can be used for meat or fish. It is one of my favorites. Once the meat is cooked, layer on some round slices of tomato and melted cheese before putting it in the oven. When the cheese is melted and is just starting to get black spots, it's finished. This seems good in a sandwich. Wait, damn it. 2, if that's the case... Oh, there it is. I fished out this world's black round bread from my item box. I split the bread into halves and made a sandwich with the meat. The roasted snake, cheese, and tomato sandwich is done. Looks pretty good. I made several more sandwiches that all look the same. Here, it's done. I served them in a huge plate with the sandwiches piled high and the 3 of them quickly tucked in. This is good. Meat really is best. Really, you say? Dude, you only had to make do without meat for one meal. This white thing you call cheese is delicious. It goes great with me. Yeah, it does. Meat and cheese go good together. Yeah, it's gooey and amazing. Now then, they'll probably want more, so let's make some before I get to my own food. I really don't feel like eating meat right now, so I was thinking I'd make rice porridge or something to be kind to my stomach. While I was making more sandwiches, I heard a voice from behind me. Can we have some too, Makoto? It's Elrond. I turned around and... Feodora? Next to Elrond, who was smiling wide for some reason, Feodora was on standby as well. Man, I tried knocking several times, but you just wouldn't come out, so I came in. We were here in the morning too, but it looked like everyone was asleep. Yeah, they were all passed out from alcohol. So those elves showed up for breakfast too, and because I was asleep, they just waited for lunch? It looks truly delicious, doesn't it? Food. Both Elrond and Feodora's attentions were glued on the food. Fel and the others were eating. Wow, those elves are such gluttons. I'll make more now. Please wait. Once I was done with the extra portions, here you go. I handed over the sandwiches that both Elrond and Feodora. Oh, this smells like garlic. Garlic! That's what really whets the appetite. Garlic? Does he mean garlic? Well, that's because I use garlic salt in the most universal of all seasonings. Elrond bit into the sandwich. I can't find words for this melted cheese. It's so good, Elrond said. Feodora beside him nodded fervently, still eating. Yeah, sure, but this smell is garlic? It was spelled garlic when I saw it in stores in the market too. Ah, it's called garlic. Garlique in my hometown. Funnily enough, the two names have their own territories. A long time ago, there was a summoned hero that called garlic, and it stuck or something. Ah! Sword of his world! Nice! That's why they call garlic. Well, either way, it gets the idea across. There's a lot of words like that. A hero that was summoned a long time ago. He was definitely Japanese. In fact, I came here through a hero summoning too, so it's not unthinkable that something like that happened a long time ago. For us who are forced here, it's nothing but trouble, though. Anyway, it's not like there's anything I can do about that now. Wait, just one won't satisfy those elves, will it? This one probably isn't enough for you, so I'll leave another one for each of you here. I said, and Elrond piped up, if possible, I'd like one more. Feodora nodded quickly in agreement. Oh, fine. I put another one onto each of their plates. Hey, more. Suyu wants more too. Val and Sui both demanded more. Dora-chan was apparently already full. I served up their extra portions, and just as I was about to make my food, the members of Arc and Shadow Warrior woke up. Of course they did. You're going to make food for them too, dude. I feel awful. My head. It looks like they were all suffering from hangovers. Of course they would, though, with how much they drank. I was the same too. What a great way to wake up. Yesterday was the best. I got to taste so much good booze. Only one person was full of energy. So you're just fine, Siegfried, even though you're the one who drank the most. Maybe he's got some kind of skill or passive ability that allows him to drink booze and be fine? I don't know. You ought to praise him and find out. I handed Siegfried a sandwich for the moment, and he started eating after a short apology. I still need to do something about the rest of them, don't I? It was my fault for bringing out so much strong liquor, though. My bad. They all partied way harder than I expected, though. I opened up my online supermarket while making sure no one could see, and bought some sports drinks and a tumbler set. This works on hangovers. Here you go. I handed over the sports drinks to all the people with hangovers. Sorry about this. Even Gaudino, ever the leader, couldn't keep up appearances in this state. Well, then the drink is in here, so drink more so you can flush the alcohol out of your system. I left him a tumbler with a sports drink in it. I'm already making it, so might as well prepare enough rice porridge for them, too. If that's the case, might as well make Chinese rice porridge. I just happen to have one clay pot full of rice, too, so let's use that to make a simple one. Normally making porridge from scratch with uncooked rice is best, but I don't really have time. I bought all the ingredients I needed with my skill. First, take a pot and throw in some rice and more water than usual before turning on the heat. Once the pot starts bubbling over, add in the granulated Chinese dashi base and keep simmering. Once the whole thing thickens up, adjust the taste with salt, then serve out the porridge in bowls and top with Szechuan pickles. That's weird. Pickles and porridge. That's weird. This time I went with Szechuan pickles, but other toppings or adding in a dash of sesame oil works great as well. This is easy on the stomach, so eat up, I said, handing them some porridge. All the people with hangovers looking horrid quietly started sipping on it. I also started on my own bowl. Yeah, this is pretty good, and most importantly, it's light and easy on the stomach, so it's great for hangovers. Oh, this is so light, but it's still seasoned well because of this crunchy thing on top, so it's really good. Elrin, why are you still eating? I didn't make that porridge for you. Wait, Feodora is sipping it too? I guess it's fine since it's just was left over on the pot, but still. Those elves really eat a lot even though they're so skinny, huh? Okay then, it's been fun. Thanks for the food. See ya. Let's drink again if we get the chance. Alright then, see ya next time. The members of Arc and Shadow Warrior all left, except one. Hey, where's Feodora? I heard Gideon's voice from the other side of the door, right after he came back in. Sorry about that, Makoto. Feodora, who had been sitting in my room as if it was perfectly natural, was dragged away by Galdino and Gideon, who looked really apologetic. Ooh, I think she would, if she had a choice, she would stick to him like glue just to have the good food. I think she would. And who knows, something might happen along the way. I don't know. Maybe. But that's only if she stuck around. Sorry about that, Makoto. Right then, later. Next time I'll find an even better bottle of booze, so look forward to it. Sigmund got the last word in as he closed the door. The storm's finally passed. I'm not doing anything else today, I'm just gonna laze around. Yesterday, after the members of Arc and Shadow Warrior left, I managed to spend the day quietly. Of course, that was except when I had to make food for my familiars. When it came time for that, I'd already recovered from my hangover and was feeling like a hearty meal full of meat, so I grilled some. It was still just the leftovers from the barbecue, though. There was quite a lot of skewers and sausages left, so I had some of the skewers with pepper and herb salt in them. It was really good. This morning I also had hot dogs made out of the leftover sausages from the barbecue. All of us, including Elrond, had breakfast together before the female guildmaster of Aveling, Dia, finally showed up. Sorry for coming so early in the morning. I knocked, but there was no response, and the door wasn't locked, so I just let myself in. I hope you don't mind. Good morning, Nadia. What's up? I was going to head over after breakfast. I'd already promised to go over today, so Elrond and I were planning to do just that after we ate. No, about that. I want to delay that until the day after tomorrow. According to Nadia, after we beat the dungeon, it went back to normal. Since we, or rather my familiars, killed so many of the monsters, and since the Adventurers Guild just announced at the end of the Dangerous season, the other day adventurers going into the dungeon had been on the rise. Thanks to that, they've been really busy. Meanwhile, Nadia and her sub-guildmaster had been looking over our loot, but there was so much stuff and the guild wanted all of it. But apparently their budget wouldn't stretch that thin. Of course not. I've been spending every day talking with my sub-guildmaster, but we just can't decide. After that, hearing that, Elrond nodded sagely, saying, I understand. Oh yeah, Nadia's looking kinda tired, isn't she? Would you like to join us for breakfast, Nadia? No, not right now. I'm still busy. I quickly prepared a hot dog and handed it to Nadia. You won't last a day if you skip breakfast. Please eat this. You sure? Sorry about that. Nadia said before biting into the hot dog. Oh, this is great. I have more, so eat up. After finishing a hot dog, Nadia downed some juice that I handed to her. I figured cola would be a bad choice, so I poured Nadia some orange juice instead. Now back to what I was talking about. While everything was happening, the Merchants Guild caught wind of the fact that you conquered the dungeon, so they want to get in on this too. Of course they do. Of course they do! They want a bunch of the hides and stuff. As always, the Merchants Guild really does have sharp ears, don't they? Normally we'd refuse, but given the amount of money on the table, we decided to let them in, and now we're pulling our resources to buy your stuff. I see, then I'll take some more time to decide. Exactly. From how Nadia was speaking, the Adventurers Guild was trying to rack up favors with the Merchants Guild. So I want you to wait until the day after tomorrow for us to decide. Is that fine? Of course, I'm okay with it. What about you, Elrond? Of course I'm fine with it. Actually, don't you have to hurry back to Dolan? It'll take longer for you to get back to Dolan, are you sure? Ah, you're worried about that? It's fine, I tell you. Nothing will change even if I'm a little late here. Also, Ugo will handle everything. You're gonna get in deep shit when you get back to Dolan and you have to deal with Ugo. He's gonna be pissed off at you. Because I highly doubt he even knows where you are. Did you even send him a message and let him know what was going on? I hope you did, at least. You sure you're fine saying that? All I can see in the future for you is Ugo being incredibly mad. I know, that's what I'm saying. Well, it has nothing to do with me, though. Yeah, because you didn't tell him to do all this. He decided to do this on his own. Well, now that I have your permission, I'm going to go back to work. Breakfast was great, thanks for the food, Nadia said before returning to the Adventurers Guild. But now I had no plans for today, leaving me entirely free. And Nadia said the day after tomorrow, so that means I wouldn't have anything to do tomorrow either. If that was the case, I guess I should try my idea to get more meat. Since I got that from the dungeon, I wanted Elrond to teach me something too. Since we're free today and tomorrow, Elrond, want to come with me out of town? I want to learn something while we procure some more meat. Out of town? Of course, I'm fine with it. Great, that means I can get lessons for free. I'm feeding you 3 squares a day, so you have to at least repay me this much. That's right. Remove the joint there. Once that's cut, this part slides, and you can cut it like that. Oh, he's getting him to help him butcher meat. Oh, that's good. You can learn how to do this yourself. At least a little bit. On top of the table I'd made using earth magic, I used my mithril knife on a cockatrice under Elrond's instruction. Sui's special mithril knife cut so well, it was actually kind of fun how smoothly the knife sliced through the cockatrice's flesh. Excuse me. We were in a forest outside of Aveling, and Elrond was teaching me how to butcher monsters. Normally, Elrond is a useless elf, but he's good enough to butcher dragons, and his instructions are real easy to understand. I got the vampire knife from the dungeon, so I was thinking of learning how to butcher monsters. Since we just got both today and tomorrow free, I asked Elrond, and now we were outside to both get meat and learn how to butcher monsters. 1, that would help you out a whole lot, and 2, you could always go and sell whatever you don't use for meat at the Adventurers Guild, and it helps them out too, so you get meat faster. Still, it really did seem impossible to take care of the larger monsters by myself, so I just asked to be able to take care of something the size of a cockatrice. But Elrond said as long as you learn how to butcher something like a small red boar, you can apply a lot of that technique to other quadrupeds. So in the end, I decided to try taking apart a red boar. It's true that a small red boar is only around 2 meters long, so just learning how to do something like this expands my range quite a bit. After all, boar-type monsters always appear in basically every forest, and there's not too much difference between quadrupedal monsters. So as long as I can take care of a red boar, it seems like I'll be able to take care of most things if it comes down to it. According to Elrond, for these kinds of things, getting used to it is most important, so I just had to keep butchering for the moment. I asked Phil and the others to get cockatrices, so right now I was learning from Elrond while taking the cockatrices apart. As for Phil and the others, after hunting down 5 or so cockatrices and leaving them here, they went off hunting again. This time I had Phil take the magic bag, extra large, we got from the dungeon, so they probably wouldn't be back until they got hungry. By the way, the vampire knife was really incredibly useful, and when I used it to stab into the cockatrices, it sucked out all the blood really quick. While it was sucking blood, the vampire's knife blade would glow up brownish red, and it would go back to being blackish once there was no blood left to suck. I wonder where the blood goes. 'Cause don't some monsters have valuable blood in them? You know, that could be used as for like medicines and stuff. Where does the blood go? Do you like put it in a bottle or something, or does it just get absorbed by the blade? You might want to be careful which ones you use that knife on. Thanks to that, I didn't get soaked in blood while taking the cockatrices apart, and a lot of the goriness of it was averted, so even I was able to keep my composure while I did it. As I thought, the worst part about doing stuff like this is having all the blood spurt out all over you and the pervasive bloody smell, isn't it? Just taking those parts out of the process lets me calm down a lot. This vampire knife is so useful. Just getting this made us going down into Avaling's dungeon worth it. You said that you'll eat the innards too, Makoto. Are you sure about that? Everyone asked. As I was splitting open the cockatrice's belly and finally got my hands into his stomach. Yes, of course. It looked like nobody ate innards in this world, so it was all thrown away. As long as I was asking the Adventurers Guild to butcher cockatrices for me, it couldn't be helped. But it's different if I'm the one doing the butchering. Of course, these are different from chickens, so I have to make sure if they're actually edible, but I have a convenient skill for that. That's called appraisal. Appraisal, please make yourself useful. Warble, the esophagus and trachea, a rare part with a firm and crunchy texture. Edible. Hearts, the cockatrice has 2 hearts, jiggly and somewhat tough texture. Edible. Liver, the liver, high in vitamins, nutrients, and iron. There is no gamey taste, so it's easy to eat. Edible. Yay! Appraisal to the rescue! I wonder how good appraisal we'll get by the time we finally get to the last volume that's out right now. I wonder. Don't tell me. I want to find out myself. Gizzard. The gizzard, an organ exclusive to birds. No gamey taste, nice grainy texture. Edible. Kidneys. The kidneys, a rare part that is high in fat and umami. Edible. Unlaid egg. A still developing egg growing inside the body. Edible. Tail. Meat from the rump near the tail. Heavy in muscle development and high in umami. It is a rare part that even has fat. Edible. Oh, thank you, appraisal! It's a monstrous, but its innards really are edible. They are all things I've seen as snacks in izakayas or sold in yakitori places, even though they're still innards, though. Cockatrices are large, so their innards are bigger than regular chickens. Although they're still each only worth about 1 or 2 skewers, I would say. There's only enough here for meat. Well, I'm allowed this much, right? Yeah. Tim yakitori along with the beer would just be the best, wouldn't it? Oh. Wait, no, I'm in the middle of butchering something. I need to hurry and take out these innards. I carefully removed each organ one by one so as to not damage them. However, the kidneys had a part of them that was hard to remove. It wasn't going well, so I abandoned it. We'll always have to keep at it and get better. Is it really that delicious? You're handling them really carefully, Makoto, Elrond asked as he saw me store the innards in my item box after carefully removing them. You see, it's really good if you skewer it and cook it over a charcoal fire. Of course with just salt as a seasoning. I heard the sound of someone swallowing saliva. Makoto, I know, but you understand innards are rare. I don't mind sharing some, but I cut first, got it? After that, under Erwin's instruction, I cut apart the cockatrice that had its innards removed. Just about when I finished butchering, Fel and the others came back hungry. Lunch was orc rice bowls that I made before we left the inn. They were rice bowls with lots of orc meat on top that I thoroughly coated with the sauce I made by boiling soy sauce, sugar, mirin, sake, and water. After they filled them on pork bowls, Fel and the others went off hunting once again. Meanwhile, Erwin got to work on the other cockatrices. Woo! That's the last cockatrice. How was it? Doing it for real makes it much easier to understand, huh? Elrond was right. Actually doing it got me used to the act much faster. After finishing up the first one, I already mostly understood what to do. And for each one after that, I got faster and faster. If it's going to be like this, I should be able to take care of cockatrices on my own. Yes, now I feel like cockatrices won't be a problem. Thank you. What about red boars? There's one that Fel and the others caught before lunch. Among all the prey that Fel and the others brought back when they came for lunch, there were several red boars, which were still pretty big, even though I asked for a smaller one. No, if we do it now, I don't think we'll finish before Fel and the others come back, so let's do it tomorrow. More importantly, I'm thinking of using these cockatrices to prepare dinner. Oh, is that so? Yes, I'll be using the organs, too. It's only skewering and cooking, so will you help me? I'm not good at cooking, but I think I can handle skewering meat. Great, he promised. I filleted the meat and had Elrond keep skewering them. I was going to make the grill myself, so I prepared longer skewers than usual so that they'd leave an extra 1.5 centimeters or so out the front. was cutting the meat and Elrond was skewering, we'd made quite a number of skewers. For the innards, I'd skewered them myself after properly preparing them for consumption. My experience working part-time at the yakitori place was actually useful. I made skewers with meat alternating between spring onions, thighs, skin, and gizzards, basically every part of the cockatrice. Whew, I'm tired. It's a more exhausting than fighting monsters. Like, thanks for helping. Look forward to dinner. Once we caught a breath, Phil and the others came back. Welcome back. How was it? We did pretty well. Yeah, we made sure to get actual edible ones. We got a lot of big ones. I checked the magic bag extra large that I had Phil bring with him and 10 wyverns, 5 wild bison, 6 golden sheep, a giant horned boar, and 2 rockbirds. Rockbirds you should be able to handle. What amazing results. Elrond was surprised seeing what Phil and the others managed to achieve in a single afternoon. By the way, in the morning they had gotten 12 cockatrices and 4 of their eggs, because I asked for them, as well as 6 red boars. Apparently cockatrice eggs were pretty rare, and they found a nest, so they brought them back. Hey, there's 10 wyverns in here. Indeed, I managed to find them just flying right past. We managed to bring down 10. Yeah, Sui and I cut off their heads. Yeah, Uncle Fel dropped them and Doi, Chen, and Sui beat them. I see. Too bad for those wyverns. From first impressions, wild bison were black and threatening cows that were almost 3 meters long. Golden sheep were just as the name implied, a sheep with golden fleece. They were a little bigger than normal sheep. Giant horned boars were huge boars that were about as big as a light truck. Damn. With 2 huge tusks protruding from the lower jaw and an even bigger horn growing right out of the center of the head. Please sell this to Dolan. If you can't, at least the golden sheep. According to Elrond, golden sheep wool was popular amongst nobles, well, of course, and was really expensive because of that. However, the wool has become much rarer recently since way less of them have been hunted. Okay, at any rate, it looks like Aveling will use up their budget on the stuff we got from the dungeon, so I'll save this stuff for Dolan. Thank you very much! Okay, then let's go back to town. Just like that, we return to Aveling. How many more chapters are there? Actually, I think this might be the last one. Chapter 8, New Dungeon Info. Not done yet? No. All 3 of my familiars were posted right next to where I was grilling the yakitori, waiting with bated breath. Aaron was also waiting behind me. Once we had gotten back to the inn, I had immediately started to prepare dinner. Of course, today's dinner was cockatrice yakitori. I used earth magic to make a stone grill in the room's exclusive backyard. I made it to fit the skewer's length while planning to grill a whole lot of it at once, so I also made sure it was at a perfect height so I could do it while sitting. While sitting on a chair, I also made out of earth magic. I was currently slowly grilling the poultry over charcoal. There were lots of skewers with thighs or meat and spring onions. Right, it should be about done. Finally, we could eat. No, I'm going to coat it with sauce and keep grilling. Half will be with sauce and the other half will just be seasoned. For the salted ones, I will season them before I started grilling. Also paid attention to what salt and pepper I used. Natural salt from Okinawa and the organic black pepper that came in its own grinder. I tried the salt and pepper by themselves, and the salt was actually pretty mild in saltiness with a hint of umami, while the pepper had perfect fragrance since it was freshly ground. Knowing that definitely heightened my expectations for the final product. I'm hungry. Just wait a little. Take this well-browned meat that's had all the excess fat cooked off of it and slather it in this sauce I made by copying the recipe of that yakitori place I worked at, using soy sauce, mirin, brown sugar, and water. Sizzle. Then started grilling it again until it gets small black spots from the charcoal fire. It'll pack in a lot more smell and flavor. The smell of yakitori is so irresistible. Yep, this should be it. I took the salted ones off first and plated them. For the ones with sauce, I cooked them a little longer before doing the same. Finally, I cannot stand smelling this anymore. Give it here. Yeah, make it snappy. Hey, be patient. Sui is so hungry. Sui wants to eat now. All 3 of them hurried me along. Just wait a second. I need to take them off the skewers, you know. I de-skewered the meat so it'd be easier for Fel and the others to eat. Here, this one's with salt and this one's with sauce. I gave all 3 of them their own sets of plates for each flavor, and each one piled high like a mountain. They all jumped at the food. This is delicious, truly. Both the salt and the sauce are great. I like this. Fel said telepathically, his mouth full of food. This is cooked perfectly. The good smell is making me even more hungry. They're both delicious, but I like the salt one more. So good. Sui loves this. Everyone was eating while sending me praise like that through telepathy. Both flavors of the yakitori went over well. It was worth making them. I need to feed this one what's been waiting for a while now, too. Here you go, Elrond. I've been waiting. This one with the sauce on it looks so appetizing. I'm digging in. Elrond bit into the skewer filled with meat. Oh, this is definitely worth the wait. The sweet and salty sauce with the perfectly cooked meat tastes divine. Yeah, right? Right? Even though it's probably not as good as what the boss of the yakitori place I used to work at could make, I recreated the sauce to an extent, and I think for an amateur, the meat was cooked really well too. Once I finish this next set of meat, I'll eat too. First, I poured some ice-cold beer I bought with my skill into the self-cooling cup I'd bought in Neoff. With this, I won't have to worry about it getting warm, even if I leave it somewhat close to the grill. Glug, glug. So good! It was probably because I was so close to the heat of the grill, but the cold beer tasted a whole level better than usual. Right, the first is the meat and onion skewers with the sauce, of course. It's gotta be sauce for that nostalgic flavor. Yeah, this is the epitome of yakitori. The salty sweet sauce is so irresistibly combined with cockatrice meat that's been cooked so perfectly over charcoal. The spring onions interspersed on the skewer give off some sweetness since they've been grilled too, and the cockatrice's fats are soaking into the onions as well, so they're to die for. After finishing one skewer, I took another swig of beer. Yeah, beer and yakitori is the golden combo, isn't it? I said from the bottom of my heart, grabbing a salted thigh meat skewer next. Thighs are delicious. This simple flavoring brings out the cockatrice's nutritious umami even more. Oh crap, I can't just sit and enjoy this stuff anymore. So as not to let it burn, I turned the yakitori on the grill. Take the half that's going to be flavored with sauce and coat it before putting it back to cook again. Right, the next ones are up. I added the meat to my familiar's plates and they started eating again. I handed Elrond a portion too and he happily dug in. Oh yeah, do you drink, Elrond? He didn't drink last time. If I remembered right, he hadn't drunk at all during the party. That's right, elves don't really like alcohol. Okay, good to know. On the other hand, we're really weak to good food like this, though. He said as he bit into one of the skewers that alternated between meat and spring onions. I couldn't help myself and bit into a thigh skewer, too. Then I took a long draw of beer. Ah, so good. Alright, next I'll grill up the skins and innards and stuff. Meat and onions, thighs, skin, warbles, hearts, livers, gizzards, kidneys, unlaid eggs, tails. I prepared the meat and onion and the thigh meat skewers the same as always, doing half the sauce and the rest with seasoning. The skins were all seasoned. As for the innards, I used sauce for the egg and liver skewers and seasonings for everything else. Sizzle, sizzle. Among the fragrant smells, fat drips off the meat. This is yakitori. Ah, I love it! Right, this is good. I took the finished meat and onion skewers and thigh skewers and served them out to my familiars. And finally, these are innards, right? That's right. For the innards, each monster produced 2 skewers, so Elrond and I have one of each kind of skewer. Which part is this? That's the heart. It's tender but chewy and delicious. Elrond seemed a little hesitant after hearing it was the heart, so I started eating first. Yep, it's good. As expected, it's tender but still chewy, and it's free of any gamey taste, even though it's an inner organ, so it's really good. I tried hearts before at the yakitori place I worked part-time at, but this cockatrice heart has stronger umami, so it's clearly more delicious. Seeing me enjoy it so much, Elrond also dug into his heart. Oh, you're right, it's tender, but it has no gaminess to it, so it's easier to eat than I expected. It seemed that Elrond was expecting something much gamier tasting than it would be difficult for beginners, but they were innards after all. Right? It's even more delicious than usual because it's fresh. I know you might be hesitant, but try eating this liver too. It's highly nutritious, and the viscous texture and deep taste are just fantastic, I said, digging into my own liver. Yep, it's awesome. It's fresh, so there's no gaminess to it. Like this, even people who normally hate innards can eat it. Just like you said, Makoto, it's got a deep taste and umami. It's truly delicious, Elrond said while eating his own liver. Even Elrond, who had been reluctant to eat innards, found it delicious when he actually tried, and he started shoveling his food faster and faster. While cooking the next set of yakitori, I was enjoying the gizzards when I thought I could hear a faint knocking sound. Is someone there? Elrond, did you hear a knock? Well, no, I didn't hear anything. Knock, knock, knock. Ah, there is knocking. Knock, knock, knock. The knocking got louder. Whoever it was must have been getting impatient. I can't just leave this grill alone, so can you go see who it is, Elrond? Okay, bang, 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 bang. Yes, I'm coming. Just wait a second. Elrond groused in annoyance as he headed for the door. Makoto, you have a guest, or how should I put it? I looked over since Elrond was being weirdly hesitant and... Huh? Theodora? For some reason, Theodora was there, eyes shining like a predator. Uh-oh. She smells the food! Oh no! Damn it! Anyway, let's get the picture. Oh shit! Food, please. Theodora sat, eyes still sparkling while looking at me. What is that? The power in that look, even though she's a little disappointing, she's still seriously pretty, so being looked at like that, I was a little... No, my heart is seriously racing. Uh-oh. This is interesting! Food, please. Theodora once again turned her shining, wandering eyes to me. Yes, with pleasure. Oh god. Theodora is a glutton for food. Oh, as long as she's here at Aveling with you guys, you're gonna probably be seeing more of her. It looked like Theodora really liked the sauce I used. She alternated between taking bites out of the meat and spring onion skewer in her right hand and the thigh meat skewer in her left. The way she ate was actually fun to watch. Sorry about my fellow elf. It looked like even Elrond was kind of taken aback as he apologized quite meekly. No, it's fine. Sure, she's a little disappointing, but I just can't hate anyone as beautiful as Theodora, especially if she looks at me with shining, sparkling eyes like she did. If I did, I'd be a failure as a man. Actually, my heart's still really racing since she looked at me like that a bit ago. It's true that she's really weak to food, but Theodora as an elf is beautiful enough to make that weakness insignificant. If anyone asked if I'd go for her, I would. I definitely would. Oh god, this is going to be interesting. In the first place, I never had a chance to interact with anyone as beautiful as her, even back in Japan. Oh god, this is going to be interesting. I tried imagining Theodora as my girlfriend, good god. You're going to have to be apart from her once you guys leave Aveling, unless she decides to tag along with y'all, but then she'd have to leave her party behind, unless they decide to come with you, in which case you're going to have a lot more to deal with than, you probably imagined. So, yeah, Theodora's going to have to leave at some point, so I highly doubt this is going to turn into anything. Theodora would lean into me and I'd hug her by the shoulders. That'd be great. The fact that she came all the way to my room means she doesn't hate me, at the very least, right? I don't know about that. Oh man, has spring finally come for me? Such thoughts ran through my head as I continued to work on the grill when I heard another knock on the door. Uh-oh. Knock, 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 knock. Makota, you there? Voice is Gaudino? Oh, I'm sorry about this, but can you go see what's up? Ah, sure. The person that Elrond brought back really was Gaudino and the other members of ARC. So you really were here. It smelled really good, so I was sure she'd be right here. I know the elves are really weak to good food, but to think that she'd barge in here, what a problem. All three of them were looking with exasperated expressions at Theodora eating away at the skewers in both hands. Sorry about our Theodora. Gaudino, the leader, apologized, seeming truly sorry. Yeah, really sorry about this, Makota. Gideon did the same. She's first rate as an adventurer too, but other than that, sorry. Siegfried also bowed his head. You can't just go around causing everyone trouble like this, Theodora. Oh well, Theodora is a candidate for girlfriend status, so let's settle this peacefully. I mean, if she does become my girlfriend, she'll have to leave ARC. That's what I'm saying. So that's even more reason to try and keep things smooth. No, it's fine. More importantly, how about this? I'm grilling cockatrice over charcoal. I'm pretty confident it's good. I offered some of the meat that was just finished to Gaudino and the others. Gaudino and the others wouldn't touch the food I offered, them saying, no, you treated us before too, so I just put all the meat onto a plate and handed the whole thing over. Now here, eat, I said. And they finally slowly reached out for the skewers. I did think this smelled really appetizing, but it really is good. So good, this is really, really good. You're gonna get everybody hooked on your food, Makota. And then they're gonna follow you around like lost puppies wanting their food. Wow, this is tasty. This goes great with alcohol. As I expect to have that dwarf, you totally get it, Sigurd. Wait a second, I said before turning to my familiars and giving them more food. I also served more to Elrond and Theodora before turning around and making sure that the three guys from ARC wouldn't see me buying more of S Company's Black Label bottled beer that I brought out during the party. I popped open the bottled beer and poured it into cups for the three of them. Food goes really well with this. Here. I handed over the cups full of beer. Sorry, man, you keep treating us. No, it's all good. Now here, drink up. For my future, I need to build up these relationships with a smooth communication. Just as I suspected, it goes perfectly with this booze. Delicious. I get you. Beer and yakitori are perfect together. Makota's right. It pairs great with this stuff. Oh, right. I was just talking about this with Gideon and Siegfried. We want you to take this. Gaudino said, handing me a deep green teardrop-shaped stone about 5 centimeters across. This is... I asked him, and Gaudino replied that it was a teleportation stone from a certain dungeon in the Araman Kingdom. Huh? I was taking a closer look at the stone when Elrond came over. That shape, it's Brick's Dungeon's teleportation stone, isn't it? And the color is... Why, isn't it the one that you can use over and over again that you find on the 30th floor? You know it, Elrond. Of course I do. You've seen it in a town called Bricks in the Araman Kingdom with a dungeon in it. Your teleportation stone is from there, and it's one of the most valuable among those. From what Elrond said, it seems that Brick's dungeon was yet to be conquered and was considered one of the hardest dungeons. It was said to have 50 floors or more, and the moment the highest had reached was the 37th floor, and that was by a party of adventurers over 100 years ago. And now you've got another dungeon to go and conquer. Oh god, good golly, thank God for that. And now you get a chance to not only get to level 80, but if it's 50 floors or more and you get to fight more, you have a chance to get over 100, if not more. That'll let you go anywhere freely up to the 30th floor and as much as you like too. You got something good, Makoto. It's really valuable. From the point of view of an adventurer going into Brick's dungeon, it'd be worth an arm and a leg. What? Is that valuable? It is. The dungeon in Bricks has stones that are consumable or reusable. The consumable ones can only be used once. The reusable ones don't have a limit and can be used forever, but they're really rare, so there's almost none of them around. And for ones that go all the way to the 30th floor, according to Elrond, that dungeon's teleportation stones rarely get dropped by floor bosses every 5 levels, and the ones that you could keep using are even rarer. The consumable types can only be used once, but that could be for either going at some place or returning to the surface. For example, a teleportation stone gained from the 10th floor could be used to go back to the surface from a certain magic circle on that floor, or it could take you from the surface to that magic circle on any floor up to the 10th. Of course, any way you used it, if it was consumable, it disappeared. On the other hand, there were reusable stones. That meant, for example, with this stone that I got that goes up to the 30th floor, I could go up to the 30th floor and back as many times as I liked. With this, I'd be able to teleport to the floor I wanted immediately, and I could use magic circles to go back in an instant. By the way, the teardrop-shaped teleportation stones were unique to the dungeon in Bricks, and the color indicated what floor it could go to, as well as what floor it was dropped in, since it would only drop every 5 floors. Whether the stone was consumable or reusable could be discerned by how dark the color was. That was apparently how everyone could tell that the teleportation stone I got was from Bricks, and that it could go to the 30th floor. From what Elrond said, I know this is really valuable, but is it really fine for me to take it? Would this be really expensive if I were to try and buy it? Can I really just take something like this? Gaudino, the source of my worry, said, "It's fine, you've really taken care of us, Makoto, and on top of that, you've given us so much good food and good alcohol, too. If we didn't pay you back, we'd be a disgrace as an A-ranked adventurers." Yeah, the leader's right. Also, we're lucky. To tell you the truth, we have another one just like it. This one was something Siegfried had before we all teamed up. Indeed, it's as Gideon says. I got it several years ago when we went to challenge Brick's dungeon. And a single party doesn't need more than one. Take it as a sign of my thanks. If we're going that far. Alright, then I'll take it. You do that. Since you came and conquered this one after Dolan, that means you'll be going to Bricks eventually, right? Eventually, yeah. It'll serve you well. No way, Gaudino. I have no plans to go to any dungeon yet. Your familiars have, something probably to say about that. They probably do plan to go to Bricks, but in Makoto's case, won't the dungeon in Rosenthal be first? Wonder where that is. If it's in the same kingdom they're in right now, then yes, probably. No, Siegfried, I have absolutely no plans to go anywhere near a dungeon. Actually, where the heck is Rosenthal and its dungeon? The meat dungeon? That's true. Wait, meat dungeon? What? Gideon? Meat's really necessary for them, isn't it? Thinking about it, the meat dungeon would be perfect for them. Even Elrond's saying this? What's the meat dungeon? I asked, and all of them told me. The meat dungeon was apparently one of the dungeons in this country. Hang on. Fuck. Hold on. In this country located in the town of Rosenthal. It had 12 floors, and although it was a really easy dungeon, it was also really popular, they said. That was because basically all the drops in Rosenthal's dungeon are meat. That's why it's nicknamed the meat dungeon. It's something that's consumed every day, so it'll never go out of demand. You'll always get at least a decent amount of money, and in the worst case, you could just eat the meat, you see. For adventurers, it's a perfect dungeon. But even though there's not much profit to be had, it's still a stable income. That's why there's a lot of adventurers with familiars there, or families there. Also, thanks to the meat dungeon in that town, it's become a mecca for food. It's just as lively as this town or Dolan. From what they said, that was also the origin of sausages. I remember thinking it was weird when I saw salt-pickled intestines for use in sausages when in this world they didn't even eat innards. Apparently the white sheep bowels I was using in my sausages were dropped from this dungeon, too. Almost all the sausage meat sold in shops was from the meat dungeon, and Rosenthal sausages and dried meats were famous. I see. A meat dungeon, huh? I remember wanting to go someday to get meat. The dungeons seem alright even. If you like, you can go to the meat dungeon after this, Elrond said, grinning wide. What the hell are you spouting? Elrond, you really do need to be getting back to Dolan. Ugo will get mad at you, I said. His face scrunched up somberly as he replied, "True, if I delay any more than this, even Ugo, you might get fired for that, dude." Hearing our conversation, the three of them all laughed, saying, "You need to do your job as Guildmaster." "That's right, do your damn job, Dolan." The female voice resounded like a bell. At some point, Feodora had gotten close to us. "Hey, Feodora, you're not saying we should go to Dolan, are you? I'm saying this now, we can't. We're going back into the dungeon here tomorrow." Gaudino's right, we were just at Dolan. On top of that, we were there almost a year. Damn. Yeah, the leader and Siegfried are right. In the first place, we only went to Dolan since you said you wanted to see your grandchildren. Grandchildren? She's got a family! Oh no! Makoni, you're probably not getting with her. Because if she's got a family, that means she's had a partner at some point. And it's either she and the partner are either no longer together, the partner is dead, or they're either no longer together, either they're together, dead, not together. You might be out of luck with her. So we changed our plans for you. We can't just be catering to your whims all the time, you know. Did I just hear wrong? I swear I just heard him talking about grandchildren. Oh, so your grandchildren are in Dolan, Feodora. Yeah, Feodora's got 4 kids, and the oldest girl lives in Dolan with her family. It really was grandchildren, and 4 kids on top of that. Your daughter's family, huh? Could it be their adventurers? No, both the daughter and her husband are doctors, so they might not have that much interaction with the Adventurers Guild. I thought I might know them if they're adventurers, but I really wouldn't know doctors. Feodora got a letter from them for the first time in a long while, and it talked about her grandchild, so she said she wanted to see them. That's why we went. At first we planned to go to the dungeon while we were there, and we planned for 3 months, but Feodora... I stopped really hearing Elwyn and Gideon's conversation in the middle. Feodora has grandchildren. I finally managed to mutter, and Elwyn said, "Oh yeah, normally people would be surprised, wouldn't they? We elves grow slowly, but even then we're adults by 30, and we can marry. Then for around 300 years we basically don't age at all, and even once that passes, we only start to grow older slowly. So even for someone who looks like Feodora, it's pretty normal to have grandchildren. By the way, I'm 334 years old. I'm still totally spry." That's right, she may look like that, but Feodora is the oldest one in our party. Oh. I just thought it was my springtime. 4 kids and even grandchildren. Now I know why. Oh my god, I knew it. No matter how pretty she is, that's just impossible for me. Dude. I think it was probably a given. With how pretty she is, like you said, she was bound to have had a partner at some point, or even has a husband. It was a vague possibility. Sorry. Even in another world, spring won't come for me. God damn it! The Divine Realm. So that's the end of it? Well, I figured that'd be how it turned out. This guy, his overall luck isn't that bad, but his luck in love couldn't get any worse. No kidding! This dude's love luck is in the single digits. You can see something like that? Or are you just guessing? Come on, Agni, don't laugh when it's so sad. Well, he does have that kind of face, though. Damn it. People like that exist, don't they? One who ends up as nothing more than a nice guy? Dude, don't compare him to the nice guy people that are out there on the internet. He's nothing like them. They definitely do. They're just too normal, or how should I put it? Even though these guys are the ones that need to show off and leave an impression the most. But do you think this otherworlder boy can even try to show off his good points? I mean, he has. That's impossible, isn't it? This guy's so indecisive, and he's so stuck in the idea of needing to keep the peace at any cost that I don't think it's possible for him. Meaning love isn't all about luck, right? Especially in this world, the types that go for it more aggressively are popular, I think. Exactly. Basically, it's almost impossible for there to be a situation where he'd be popular. No faith in him at all, huh? Well, I'm the same, though. Yakitori. Women sure are cruel, huh, blacksmithing god? You know it, war god. Yeah, they are. Extra gourmet hunter F. Huh? Ooh, this could be interesting. What the hell? This is mega delicious. Apparently it was something called a fry, where fish from Beerland was coated in breadcrumbs and cooked in oil. The crispy coating of breadcrumbs and the soft meat inside concentrated with umami came together, and the taste was perfect. It was truly delicious. Just that would be a great feast, but the white sauce that came with it, apparently called tartar sauce, was also amazing. It was salty and sour, but still somewhat mild. Anyway, it's so good with this fry stuff. Where are you even getting this from anyway? Actually, in the first place, why am I even eating seafood from Barely and Abilene? And we're inside a dungeon too! Ah, whatever already, it's so good. Who is this person, and when is this happening? Theodora! This is Theodora! Oh my god! I was like, who is Gourmet Hunter F? Theodora! I was like, who is this? When is this happening? It really was the right choice to go back to being an adventurer, even though I only did it because I was bored since my youngest daughter grew up and became independent and my husband died. Oh no! I was wondering about that. Okay, so Makoto might have a chance. Might, but he would be going for a single bomb. Adventurers travel everywhere, so they have a lot of chances to eat good food. It's really nice since you can have great meetings like this too. With these thoughts running through my head, I went to put the next piece in my mouth. At some point, all the food on my plate had disappeared. Just as the depression started to sink in, since all the food on my plate had vanished, I heard the voice of Dolan's Guildmaster, an elf like me. Oh, this sauce goes great with this lightly flavored fish, since it's got such complex flavor instead of just being salty. That last white sauce with the acidity and mellow taste was extremely delicious, but this sauce also can't be ignored. I looked at he was happily enjoying the seafood with the brown sauce. Huh? What's that? Why is it only you that gets more? It's unfair, just because you know him, and that sauce is different from the white one I had, isn't it? I can tell, it's definitely delicious. Yeah, I want some too. My friends Gaudino, Gideon, and even Siegfried looked like they wanted some too. Yeah, this is Pandora. Please give us more. You must have noticed our silent pleas since the cook Makoto asked us, want more? Of course, I was waiting for you to ask. Entranced, I nodded at Makoto. Thanks to that chance, I got to try the brown sauce. Apparently it was called Worcestershire. This dish with the brown sauce is also good. Dolan's Guildmaster was right, what a complex taste, and it still goes really well with this food. Both the white and brown sauces go with this stuff. It's great. They're so good I can't decide which one I like better. While I was busy feeling moved by the brown sauce, I was to get caught Dolan's Guildmaster speaking. The soup is perfect too. The food you make is really delicious, Makoto. You can make it to the top of all the capital's first-class restaurants. Whoops, that's right. There was a soup too. I almost forgot since I was so enamored by the fish Makoto made. Makoto makes such great seafood in the form of that fry, so no doubt his soup will be good too. Since Dolan's Guildmaster said such great things, I'm also eating at a top-class restaurant in the capital before, and Makoto's food here is definitely better than what they serve there. I'll declare it in front of the king if I have to. I'm really picky about my food, and I'm saying that, so it's just that good. I blew on the soup before. Slurp. This soup really is delicious. It's a milk soup with lots of vegetables and shellfish in it. It might be the first time I've ever tried a milk soup with shellfish in it. Milk itself is pretty rare, so it's not something people can eat every day. Still, milk really goes well with shellfish, doesn't it? I didn't know that. The umami of the shellfish, the unique flavor of milk, and the sweetness of vegetables, it all comes together superbly to make an incredible soup. Beside me, enjoying my soup, was Gaudino, who said, I thought it was really good, but if you the elf are saying it, then there's no doubt. Even Theodora, who's a really picky eater, is really into it, said Dolan's Guildmaster, but I didn't mind. It's true that I'm picky, and it's true that the soup's got its hooks into me. Actually, the only elves that wouldn't be picky would be children. Elves live a long time, so we always end up eating a lot of different things. That's why we always end up picky, and the longer we live, the more we start to enjoy basic things like eating. Nom nom glug glug glug. Oh, this is really good soup. Oh, it's all gone already. This isn't enough. I still want more soup, but just when I started feeling sad because all the good soup was gone, Makoto asked me, do you want some more soup? Of course, you're really attentive, aren't you? Great, you're amazing. Oh, you might have a chance. If she's going for good food, I mean, Makoto ain't bad looking. He's normal. Normal, I say, when it comes to, in comparison to all the very weirdly attractive people in this world, apparently. So, I mean, he's not bad looking, but still. He's a good guy. He's good food. Wouldn't be a bad boyfriend or husband, I will say that. I handed my bowl over to Makoto, and he poured out a generous helping of soup. Looking at the hot soup giving off steam, I couldn't stop myself from smiling. I enjoyed the delicious shellfish and milk soup a second time. At first glance, he's a plain guy who doesn't seem like he'd be a good adventurer. So he's Makoto, huh? I got it all memorized. I'm not great at remembering names, but it's different for people that make food this good. Also, my sixth sense that detects delicious things is pinging like crazy. This person definitely knows more delicious dishes, and he seems like he'll give them to me too. I'm not letting you go. Uh-oh. Makoto, you might need to be careful. This lady is probably gonna follow you no matter what. So, Ark, you might be losing a party member. Theodora's glinting eyes were locked on the Makoto. Oh god. Oh dear. This could be interesting. I mean, yes, she's a single mother, but Makoto doesn't know that she's single. He just knows that she's got grandchildren. So he automatically assumed that she's got a husband. And she did. Not anymore, though. But he don't know that. And he's probably not going to know unless someone mentions it. And I don't think anybody's going to mention that just off the cuff in conversation. You would have to ask. And I don't think he will. Anyway, I will get to Volume 7 at some point, probably later today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.